Check two, check 1 2. Okay, hey everybody, it's again another busy week here at BiteSite, and in the weeks where we're really busy with client work, we're still very dedicated to getting material out for you guys, but just the production value may not be as high as it normally is. Tim's been doing some really crazy stuff recently with his motion graphics and his lighting and everything, but today is a bit simpler in terms of video production, but still very important concept when it comes to making corporate videos. So got some notes here that I want to go through, but basically when you guys are creating corporate videos, you're gonna have a lot of choice in terms of what exactly your format may be. We talked about animated explainer videos, we talked about live action scripted stuff, but the thing is, when you're creating scripted videos or even some unscripted videos, you have this option of doing voiceover as a format. So what voiceover is, some people may think of this as narration, is when the audio of somebody speaking is actually recorded separate from the actual video itself. The reason we like voiceover, using voiceover in videos, is it's a really easy way to get high production value and high quality videos with not as much effort. So let's talk about how BiteSite actually uses voiceover, and maybe you guys can learn and how you want to incorporate voiceover into your videos, or if you guys are a video production company, how you work with clients to incorporate voiceover. Okay, all right, so when it comes to voiceover, really everything starts with a script. It's pretty simple. You want to write a script, you want to work with your clients to figure out what your messaging is, and we talked about this in the past, but you basically want to come up with a script. So if you look right here, this is a project that we worked on a while back. Is for a company called Pallium, doing some really cool stuff in the palliative care space, and this is the script that we ended up with, and this is what we end up sending to the professional voiceover company. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. It just has the title of the script. We also put an approximate timeline, and really it's just the script written here. And all we do with the script, there's a couple things we do with the script. One is we actually time it. So when we write the script, someone like me will usually have on their iPhone, hit start, and just read it in the form that we think it's going to end up in the end, and that'll give us a good time for how long it will take. It's a very good idea to actually read it after you've done it, and not just in your head. Read it aloud and how you might actually hear it playing in the final commercial, because you might be surprised how long or short it is. Now, the other thing we'll do for our clients sometimes is we will perform the script. We'll literally have the script, we'll sit in a round table in a meeting, and I'll actually read the script out loud and perform it. In rare cases, if we really want to give the client a good idea of how it's going to sound, we'll do a rough recording just using ourselves and put some music in the back just to give them an impression of how the overall thing will sound. Okay, so once the script is done and it's locked and everybody agrees that this is what we want to go with, the next part is really incorporating the professional voiceover talent. And really, this video is mainly about that, really opening your guys' eyes to professional voice over talent. So we actually use two services. One is called Vox Talent and one is called Voice Bunny. Now, Voice Bunny we've only used once. The client was looking specifically for a British accent, so we went specifically with Voice Bunny. We were generally pretty happy with our experience of Voice Bunny, but we're just more comfortable with Vox Talent. We're dealing with agents, we're dealing with people on the Vox Talent side, so we tend to use Vox Talent a lot more than we use Voice Bunny. So I'm going to talk about Vox Talent over Voice Bunny because we just have a lot more experience with Vox Talent. Before I go any further, I just want to give a shout out to Chris Baudouin and Riley Stanova. These were two people we were working with years ago, and we're working with a project with them, with the company they're working for at that time, and they were the ones who actually introduced me to Vox Talent. So props to Chris and Riley. Okay, so Vox Talent. So here's how it works. So basically they are an agency, a voiceover agency that has a pool of voiceover talent. So male, female, different age range, and all you have to do is go to voxtalent.com. Now that's a Canadian company, so we're based in Canada, and I'm sure there are a lot of other companies out there like this. And you can check out their rates. So for corporate video, we are typically in the 0 to 10 minute range. So corporate video here, we're paying about $250 for each production. So again, not a crazy amount of money to spend to get really great professional recordings. After that, what you can do is you can start browsing the candidates. It's great. So you just click on males or females, and you can either have the performer attend a session. So you can actually work with them. You can actually have them attend a session, and you can direct them live. What we usually do is we have them record from home. So we literally send them the script, we send them some director's notes, and they record it completely by themselves. We don't really get involved. And then all we get back is the final recording. So we usually say, I want to record from home. So here you can browse all the different talents here. And, you know, there's bilingual, there's French only, they do characters. You can click on any one of these, and once you click on them, you can see their availability, but probably the more important thing is you can play a demo. So you click on the demo and you'll hear their demo of their voiceover work. So you'll hear, you know, radio ads that they've done, corporate video ads that they've done, all these kind of things, and you'll just hear all the work that they've done to get an idea of what they want. Now, one thing I really should emphasize when you're listening to the demos is you really have to understand that voiceover talent is just like any performer. They're directed to act in very different ways. So it may not fit exactly your tone or style, and you have to stretch your imagination a little bit to say, okay, would this voice work in the tone or style that we want, even though that tone or style might not be in their demo. Usually what we do when we're working with clients is we'll shortlist a couple of demos and we'll send it to the client, and we'll decide on the final client there. And then what we do is we prepare the script and the notes for them. So preparing the script is not really anything. We just kind of put it all together to make sure it's in a format that's easy for them to understand and work with. Sometimes scripts get broken up and side by side with visuals and stuff like that. We just kind of put it all together in one nice page. But probably the other very important thing to mention here is we prepare voiceover notes. These are notes that we give to the voiceover talent to let them know, you know, kind of the style that we're going for, the tone that we're going for, the approximate length we're going for, any references, these kind of things. So this is something that we kind of just put together ourselves. You can see here. So we just list the project. We put any non-disclosure agreements in there. We put the type of video. We specify the talent's name. We put the ideal length. And then this is the stuff where I think it gets really important. So here, you know, we specify things like the tone that we want. So in this case, we said we want it serious, but with an authority. You know, so when someone's talking, they're talking serious and calm, but they're authoritative on the subject matter. We also have a breakdown of the script in terms of, you know, does it change tone? Does it become happier? Does it become sadder? Does it become more serious, more joyful? These kind of things, right? So we specify any kind of description that we would explain to the voiceover talent at this point. After that, we also specify some references. So sometimes in the demo of the candidate, they'll have a section that's like exactly what we're looking for. So we'll reference that. We'll say, that section of your demo was perfect. That's the tone we're going for. If they don't have that, sometimes we send other YouTube videos. Sometimes we'll send them other videos that we say, this is the tone that we're going for. We'll send them those YouTube videos. Another thing we'll do is we'll send them music inspiration. So we'll say, okay, this is kind of the music that we're picturing for the final video. It may not be the final track exactly, but it inspires the tone of it. So we'll send them that stuff. So all these things are just helping them kind of get in the head of what is this video going to be in the end, so they can deliver exactly what you want. The other thing we do also send are things like pronunciation notes. So sometimes you're dealing with companies that have company names that are not obvious how you pronounce them. Sometimes you're dealing with different pronunciations in different regions. So for example, we had an American client at one point who wanted the American pronunciation versus Canadian pronunciation. So different regions might have different pronunciation notes. So pronunciation notes are also good to send them. And then in this specific case, we also specified a variation. So if they could give us 2 different takes of a certain script. So these are all notes that you would normally, when you're dealing with voice actor talent in person, you would probably have this discussion with them. But since, you know, in these situations, you're kind of just sending off your script, you're sending off your work to someone who's just going to record and send it back. We give some direction notes there. And then that's pretty much it. What's great about this is you just send them that package. You know, you go through the agency, again, Vox Talent, and they record it and they send it back to you. And if there's any revisions that are within reason, so if it's something that came back and it wasn't quite right, you can work with the talent to negotiate to get those revisions done. And then that's it. You'll get a professional sounding voiceover that you can just throw into your timeline and edit it, and everything will sound really great. After doing videos of voiceover work, I started realizing on TV how many commercials are made this way, just because it's a lot easier to get that professional tone. So That's pretty much it for working with voiceover. We highly recommend Vox Talent, but Voice Bunny is also a good alternative. So if you guys are producing corporate videos, I highly recommend you explore this way of doing videos. Like I said in the past, it's a relatively low-cost way to get very high production value. When you have professional voiceover with good music, the video goes way up in terms of professional quality. So definitely check that out. That's it for now. We'll see you guys in the next one.